The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you curious about how business can be better? I'm Simon Pound, and I host Business is Boring, a podcast where I kōrero with some of the most interesting people in entrepreneurship, commerce, and making things happen. Tune in to Business is Boring every Tuesday, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in partnership with Spark Business Lab. Kia ora, I'm Simon Pound. You might remember me from a little old podcast called Business is Boring. Well, we've had a lovely long break over summer, but I'm happy to say Business is Boring is back, with lots of thanks to our friends at Spark Lab. Join me here on the Spin-off Podcast Network every Tuesday as I chat with some of the most interesting and inspirational players in the Aotearoa business scene, from accidental entrepreneurs to the brains behind some of the country's biggest brands. If you're into business or want to be, then make sure you follow Business is Boring wherever you get your podcasts.
Slinky Malinky was cosy and snug, curled in a ball on the raggedy rug.
The Spin-off presents Linley Dodd, writing the pictures, painting the words. An intimate portrait of one of Aotearoa's most celebrated children's authors. Watch the documentary today at thespinoff.co.nz/videos. Made with the support of New Zealand On Air.
I'm seeing the pictures before I even start the words.
I want to know how to say, are you joking? Like Paige does. Are you joking?
Are you joking? Are you joking?
I love Paige so much.
I hate Paige. Are you joking? Are you joking?
Kia ora koutou, welcome to The Real Pod. My name's Jane. I am on my own right now. Not entirely on my own. I've got a little friend with me called COVID. But Alex Casey is just whipped out of the pod studio. I'm at home in bed. She's in the podcast studio and she's just whipped on out to grab a prize or something, some sort of prize that we've got to give away, which is very exciting. Here she is. She's back.
Hello.
She's back.
Hold on, mask off.
Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone? Say hello to the people.
Alex Casey is here. Are we doing it? Did you actually start? Oh, okay.
I did.
I just had
You
to
told
run
me to start, so I
into
started.
The office. Did you say Wire's not here?
Yes, I said you were going
so
to
they know
grab
what's happening?
A big old beach bag by the looks.
Oh, yeah, you can see me.
I
so
can
we've
see
got an
you.
amazing... Don't say that we don't ever give you nice things, because we have a gorgeous giveaway.
We might not send it to you.
Oh, no. So already the caveat is you have to come and pick it up from us. And so this is open to Aucklanders or those willing to travel. Our friends at Neon sent us these gorgeous little Love Island packages to give away to the Real Pod listeners. We've got 4, Jane. 4. The problem is they're extremely heavy, hence the need to come and pick them up yourself.
Is there a drink bottle in there?
There's not a drink bottle, but what there is, so there's this gorgeous overnight bag for sort of a casa more type scenario, or a hideaway, if you will. And then within that, we've got so much. There's Snacky Changy sour cream and chive chips.
Delicious.
Voted #1 chip by the Spin-off in the country. There's popcorn. There's 2 different blocks of chocolate, both Whitakers. There's 0 pals, because they couldn't send us real alcohol because of the laws or something.
Yeah.
But that means it's free to people of all ages to enter, as long as you're in the wider Auckland region and you're willing to travel. Sangria syrup, again, non-alcoholic, so give that to your kids.
Yeah.
Bondi Sands, tanning mitt.
Oh, my Lord.
And a big old thing of tan.
This is summer.
This
in
is
the
summer.
dead of winter.
Aerated self-tanning foam, liquid gold, Bondi Sands.
I've never self-tanned. Have you self-tanned?
No. Can you
Oh my
imagine?
God. We got to do it.
I can't do it. But this is and crucially of all, Love Island UK bingo card to play along at home,
I love it.
including Fight by the Fire Pit. Can I pull you for a chat?
Tick, tick.
Davide works out. A head is turned.
tick.
Gemma mentions her dad. She's been mighty restrained.
Yes, she has. But Luca, you got to mention from Luca
That's
this week,
right.
actually.
Well, it's got to be front of mind for Luca. If you know you're leaving that villa and you're going to meet a celebrity dad, it's all you're thinking about.
I'm just really disappointed that that Jack Keating didn't come back to the villa. That no one struck up a lovely life as a roller coaster relationship
I know.
with Ronan Keating's
If
son.
tomorrow never comes.
And it never did.
So what are we going to do to get for people to enter this lovely competition for this gorgeous Casa Amor overnight bag?
There's nothing like running a competition without having any mechanism in mind
And doing it live
and doing it live
and telling
on
people they
pod.
have to come and get it. And already being annoyed by like the idea of having to set that up.
Could this be a good opportunity to really fang the Discord? Is it a Discord exclusive?
That's a good
Okay,
idea.
It's God, Tiahi, you're
Genius.
so good.
So good.
Tiahi, a winner of our podcast, in that he is the last man standing not to have had COVID yet, now that I'm out of the race. So congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Also excellent at all those things that we've talked about a million times before. Dungeons and Dragons, worked on a ship,
Don't talk about that.
music, yeah. And also now coming up with promotions. He's like our roadrunner, the Real Pod roadrunner. He's our promotions team, and he's decided that we're going to do a Discord giveaway, and that we are. And what's the mechanism,
I think we're going to swiftly transition that over to Ollie Chick to figure out.
Okay, Ollie
kick
Chick
that
is
ball.
figuring out. Ollie Chick is figuring out how we're giving away the Love Island pack. So you need to be part of our Discord to find out, and we'll all find out at the same time. It's nice.
And
It's
Ollie
meta.
Chick can have one of these bags, but we'll have to travel. Can't emphasise that enough. We'll have to travel from the South Island to pick it up because it's got a whole box of pals in it, and it's real heavy.
If you want to join our Discord, it's actually really cool. It's very. If you've got Slack at work, it's kind of like that. There's different channels for different discussion topics, which are pretty much all different reality TV shows. So great for live chats and so on. And you can get there by going to our Facebook group and joining that, and then going from there through to the Discord. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/RealPod Corner.
I don't like this portal, this Facebook portal.
I don't. There might be another way.
Is there
I just
another
don't
way?
know.
I hear.
I'm sorry, I was too busy reading the Discord, the Real Pod Discord, catching up.
We were just wondering if there's a way to get into the Discord without having to go through the Real Pod Corner first.
Almost definitely. What that way is, no idea.
No idea. Okay. never mind.
Crazy.
I'll look into it.
crazy.
I'll see if I can figure it out by the end of the pod.
And tell me this, are there any custom emojis yet in the Discord?
Oh, now the Discord server, we need to boost the Discord server to get custom emojis.
With
What
cash?
does that mean?
I think somebody needs to subscribe to Discord Nitro and then boost the server.
Oh, God. That sounds like going into space.
Does a little bit. 132 cornies in the Discord
That's
server.
bloody good, mate. That's
Discorns.
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 Is that something?
Oh, I love it.
Surely one among them has already subscribed to Discord Nitro and would like to boost the Real Pod Corner Discord.
Oh, so someone can just do it out of the kindness of their
I
own
think so.
heart.
I think that's how
This
it works.
is amazing.
I don't know, the kindness in their own pockets by the sound of things.
If you boost the Discord out of the kindness of your own heart, we will give you a Love Island package. But you have to go and pick it up.
You've already given away two.
There's only two left now. There's one for Ollie Chick, there's one for the Nitro Booster, and there's two to be picked up from someone who lives in the wider Auckland region.
Before we even know what the mechanism is to have been given away, it's amazing. You get a Love Island pack. You get a Love Island pack. Check under your seats at home. Oh, dear. Or if you're on the bus, make sure you have a look under your seat. That's probably just good advice. You
Yeah,
know what
or
might be
check
there.
on the seat. 'Cause remember I sat in piss 2 weeks ago.
I was more thinking like someone might have dropped a $20 note, but also may have dropped some urine. This is your reality TV recap podcast. We are recapping Below Deck. We got any other sort of housekeeping or news or anything?
Where's Duncan?
Oh, I don't know.
Could that be a segment?
It's just called the podcast, I think. I don't know where he is, except for that he is not here. I think school holidays, he's away. Can I just, sorry, I hate to bring it back to myself. And having COVID and being sick. No, can I just say, I have also got 2 children home with me.
Madness.
And I was listening to Gone by Lunchtime, great podcast. And Annabelle had a similar situation where she got COVID. She had her tamariki with her. They were asymptomatic and she was sick as a dog, right? This is my exact situation. They are bouncing off the goddamn walls. You know, like, thank goodness and all that they're healthy and well and not suffering. But I could do with a little sort of sickness nap from them, you know, where they're feeling poorly and they have a nice big afternoon nap.
Yeah.
As it stands, they are just annihilating the house.
Are they? Are the cats running riot too?
Does anybody want 2 cats? I have currently
In the
got
wider Auckland region.
sellotape. I don't have double-sided tape, so I've jimmied away to put like packing tape upside down to make my countertops sticky because they will not get off the freaking benches.
Oh, no.
I've never known such naughty cats.
They also hate tinfoil. You can try that. Wrap everything in tinfoil.
I've tried tinfoil. I've tried hanging towels off the bench. I've tried water spraying them, which is apparently a bit mean. So none of it's worked. So now I'm onto the tape.
What about let them on the bench?
Gross. One of them, when she's in a litter, she paddles at her poo.
Paddles at her poo.
She gets pooey paws. I don't want poo paws on my countertops. Thanks very much.
What about let them on the bench? And you move out.
What does Link do?
Link is on the bench.
Yeah. Okay.
I let him express himself and I deal with
What about the bits of food and that? Are you guys just very tidy?
Just wipe, you know.
Wipe? What's that?
Just wipe me.
I never wiped in my life.
Well, the thing is I kind of trust Link implicitly because he has very white paws. So you can always see if he's been up to mischief.
Can't see urine on paws. Can't see urine. But also they go in the sink and then then they'll be in the garden. You see Link doesn't go outside, but they get muddy paw prints everywhere.
Aww.
Honestly, bane of my existence. Huge regret getting the cats. No, not true. Little bit of regret getting the cats. But I'm a responsible pet owner and will continue to feed them and house them.
You've mentioned that you've got COVID.
I have.
And what day are you on now?
I have no idea.
As of recording.
The day of isolation, you mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long I had it because I had that gnarly. Remember I was off work for a week. I had a gnarly, what I thought was a cold because I was testing negative for days and days and days. So I thought it was just a cold. Then I started getting better. And then I started going downhill again and then tested again in Covey Cove. But day of isolation, day 5?
Wow.
Day 5. Nearly there.
I just think it's important to talk about because, as you mentioned off pod, the sympathy is basically run out for people who have COVID now. And
No one cares.
I want you to feel listened to and comforted.
No one cares. Like, to be fair, Emily Wright sent me some yummy treats, which was delightful and highly
That's
unexpected.
So nice.
Yes. And another really nice thing that happened is, well, it was a bit from me grifting, but I was in our buy, swap, sell corny group on Facebook and wanted to know.
Buy, swap, sell?
Yeah.
Selling what? Buying what? Swapping what?
Well, in this situation, I was after like any old unloved Pokemon toys that anyone might have and wanted to gift my horrible children, my delightful children. And someone had some and that was great. And she was like, I think I'm in your neighbourhood. I can just drop them over your fence while you're isolating. And yes, we got some wonderful Pokemon toys that have delighted the children.
Oh, that's
but
so
also,
nice.
excuse me, She went out and bought a special Pokemon thing for them that her children gave up their pocket money to buy for my children.
No. What?
Because they had such fun with the same toy themselves. And some Dunkin' Donut holes, which I cannot tell you how excited I was to receive.
That's
surprise Dunkin' Donut holes.
Nice. That's the nicest thing I've heard in a long time.
The corns are just the best. You know who you are. Thank you so, so much. And apart from that, I've had one phone call from my family to check in. In fact, I'm not even convinced it was to check in. It was just a sister ringing, and I was like, "You're the only one who's called."
Nothing from mum?
No, not true. I missed a call from her last night and then a text today just checking to see how you're doing. But every time I talk to her, she's like, "How do I get the Chromecast going?" So I feel like it's it's a thin veil of concern.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, look, Jane, you're in our thoughts and prayers.
Thank you. That's important to me. That's
momentarily.
Anyway, should we talk about the telly show? What else? Oh, MasterChef there was a MasterChef winner or something. That's finished. There's a
Block starting. Block would have started while we're doing this.
Yes,
When
we're
this
going to
has come out?
there'll be a recap up tomorrow by the time you're listening to this, depending on when you're listening to this. Thursday there'll be a recap up. And just we touched on Love Island, and I just want to make mention of your wonderful What Does Love Island, the Villa Smell Like piece.
Oh, thank you, Jane.
It was so accurate, scientific.
I did a lot of
research.
research
From you.
I did a lot of research. And what I found was that Dammy, what a stink butt. Like 8 different mega farts have happened on the show this far.
I haven't even noticed while watching the show.
Yeah, you put them all together
that was
and it's outrageous.
It's a real revelation.
It really is.
Yeah.
But no, so for those of you who don't read the spin-off, the Love Island Villa absolutely stinks. Confirmed on the record from contestants and the hosts of farts, BO, fake tan, and more horrible things.
And more. I can hear my children starting to kick off. This is I don't think not going to be the Girls Uninterrupted podcast. I think this is going to be the Girls
I say
Interrupted
bring them
podcast
on.
at some point. We have no choice in the matter. If it suits them to come in and take over, that will happen.
Okay.
Just quickly on Love Island, just before we started recording, I innocently said, "Oh, I love Paige," and you
She bothers
absolutely
me.
reeled back in horror.
She bothers me. We're vibing. I don't like the way that she clicks and does that. And I think she was like, I mean, I don't want to spoil it. Where are you up to? Are you up to date?
Oh,
It'll be fine. It'll be fine by now. But like, she was like, oh, Jax. And then he'd turned straight away. She's going for that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what Love Island's all about.
I know, but I just think she's a bit fake.
Okay.
But compared to Andrew and Tasha, she's an angel. I really, really,
Andrew
really,
and Tasha,
really hate Andrew and Tasha.
Hilariously bad.
David Brent is Andrew.
Davide, though.
Davide Brent.
Davide Brent.
Wow. Has anyone done that?
Probably
Davide
not.
Brent. Wow.
Okay, anyway, Blow Deck, Ep.
9.
Squid Games. 9. My notes are extremely patchy. You might have to carry this.
Okay. Well, I've immediately written Magda complaining to Erik /Hans / whoever her boyfriend is in Polish ? That's all I've got.
Possibly Spanish because she's a little bit Latina.
That's right.
My first line is imagine Hannah with Magda.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? That would be so good. Such great tally.
It would be so amazing. It's too bad that we'll never get Hannah back, eh?
Yeah, she's had a child and she's like moved on from that yachting life.
Yeah.
But she was the perfect chief stew in so many ways. Ryan, we're looking at photos of Benny's family. Ryan and Benny are talking about they're just sort of bonding over their shared experience of having lost parents. And Ryan's like, damn, about Benny's mom.
Yeah. And Benny's like, yeah, that's no Instagram. That's just them.
And yeah, to be fair, they did look very cool. Like, very, very cool parents.
They did look cool. What I thought was interesting is how they can always very readily access photos of themselves as children and also their parents on their phone, like immediately. A lot of these, and I wonder if they have to preload a bunch before they get on board in the event that they need to bond.
Oh yeah, no, I reckon when they cast, that first of all, they probably like, do you have any family tragedy? Great if you do. And then they're like, okay, bring along any photos, any relevant media that might support this storyline, please.
If you have hot parents, please download.
It's like when people turn up in The Bachelor with actual physical hard copies of photos of their family and stuff. They kind of date and whip out some photos.
I love that.
There needs to be more of that on dates.
Down to warehouse stationery.
Yeah, pack your little photo album under your arm.
It's a dying art form. Really
is.
Jinx. No, actually, it's terrible for a podcast. Unjinx.
I think you're just supposed to say my name. Anyway, can we go? We're in the taxi cab to out for a night. There's boobs being flashed.
I know. All the time. They love it, don't they? And power to them, can I say?
Yeah, of course.
Power to them.
Of course. And Ryan hates people.
So much.
They end up at a club where they're in their group dancing, and some bozo starts yelling out to the girls, "Get your tits out." That was reductive of me, wasn't it? The women.
What did you say? The girls.
The women, not the girls.
Shacks.
Get your girls out. Anyway, Ryan decides to jump in the ring and like take on this guy who's about 10 foot taller than Ryan. And I thought, you know what? Good on you, Ryan. Good on you for like standing up for what's right. And then he ruins it by going up to Toomey afterwards and saying, "I nearly got in a fight because of you fuckers."
And he also threw a bottle, which is more than
That's
just
not-
being like, that's a bit out of line, bruv. It's like proper.
It's proper
That's violence.
aggro.
That's violence.
Yeah. I mean,
you can really hurt somebody by doing that.
Ryan's on a real downward trend, self-sabotage this episode.
Yeah. I was like, he's like, I have zero tolerance for disrespecting women. But remember the way he told Aisha to like stick to the vacuuming? like yes, she does vacuum, but there was a loaded there was a loaded statement.
He did. I don't know. I kind of enjoy Ryan. I'm a bit worried he's about to get kicked off the boat. But he did. Did you catch the roll he did out of from the back seat into the middle seat of the van? Started out fine, and it just like rapidly declined, and like his pants were coming down, and his credit cards all fell out of his back pocket.
Did his collar go unpopped? Because it was bloody popped for a while there.
He looked just like my 8-year-old son when he decides that he's not gonna like lever the seat forward in the car. He's just gonna roll over the seat from the back.
And the difference is Ryan is 30 plus years old.
30. I think I worked out his age. I think he's like mid-30s.
Yeah, I don't think he's long for this world on below deck though. I'm worried.
Everyone is heading to bed except for Magda. Her night is just beginning. She whips out her phone and uses all the boat data.
Yeah, that was a funny little behind the scenes. Like, I never thought about the boat having data. You never think about the nuts and bolts of just like, suddenly there's this Xavier or someone who's like the data watcher. And he's like, she's going over the limit. And you're like, what? Who are you?
She's using 10 times more than anyone else. She's like used 50 gig or something. She's just video calling her boyfriend all night long, and right in front of the captain.
Yeah.
Like at what time? Like from, I think I clocked it was 1:40 to 3:40 in the morning. She was lying in the main salon, having a good old yarn.
And she's got, so does the boat have its own, how does it work? The boat will have its own Wi-Fi. She's not on her own personal plan. She's using the boat's.
Yeah, she's using the boat's Wi-Fi. Presumably they've got like a little fibre box attached to the side of the boat. Australian Chorus have come out and wired that up for them.
Till so late. Like, and she's got work the next day, and you know they have to get up early. To do the vacuuming and co.
Yeah, well, she's onto it though.
Yeah.
Never lets her.
She never works slow.
Never works slow.
And she never just goes to sleep in the middle of the day and does not wake up for hours.
At Zed, we're all about moving with the times. And now it's time to be part of the climate change solution and move on from fossil fuels. As a company providing fuel to people all over the country, we also know we have a real opportunity to lead that change. We're committed to keeping Aotearoa moving by providing the right energy for everyone. We believe that innovation in fuel and how it's used can make a huge difference to our planet. Find out more at z.co.nz.
New from the Spin-Off's business editor Chris Schultz, together with KiwiBank, comes Stocktake, a weekly newsletter about the people behind the businesses driving Aotearoa, along with stories about how forces affecting the economy will impact the lives of New Zealanders. Sign up to Stocktake now at thespinoff.co.nz/newsletters.
Just quickly, if you're enjoying this podcast and value what we do at The Spin-Off, please consider joining the Spin-Off members. All our mahi is made possible by our members, and we wouldn't be here today without their support. Tautoko mai and head to thespinoff.co.nz/members to sign up.
Brittini used to live in New Zealand.
Love this.
And also there was a New Zealand guest on the boat as well.
That's
And
right.
he bonded with Brittini over there.
The one who looked like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Local Ryan Reynolds. It's a taste of home, isn't it?
I love finding out that, because who else? I think it was Hannah talked about having travelled New Zealand at one point, and I just love hearing that they were here at some point in time, you know, just
Loves Wanaka.
just moving around amongst the hoi polloi,
Breathing the same air as
sleeping
us.
in a van,
Probably going to the same airport as us once. Oh,
probably pooing in the reeds next to in a national park beach, you know.
just like us.
What a time, just like us.
So Magda and Aisha got into a bit of biff, bit of verbal biff. Don't raise your voice at me, etc. I'm your chief
Oh yeah,
stew.
you're jumping right ahead. It doesn't
Oh,
really
am I?
matter. No, life is just
Life is crazy.
Life is crazy. I was just going to mention the guests, but they haven't arrived at that. I don't know. I was
know.
just going to say that. I just don't.
One of them used
Yes.
to work for the captain,
Yes,
and now the captain is working for him.
and now he has a floating party pontoon, which clearly makes a lot of money if you can afford to charter the thalassa.
Party on a pontoon.
We're in the wrong business.
We need,
Actually, a party on the pontoon sounds like exactly the sort of thing the Real Pod would do.
but it's just like that little shit one at Point Chev. It's just ours.
Only 4 people at the time, must be from Auckland or at least willing to travel.
Oh, that's a good idea. We could put the prize on the pontoon, and whoever swims out and gets it wins.
If we were a radio station, we would put a prize on a
Then
pontoon.
you have to go out in an inflatable castle.
Yeah.
Them's the rules.
That's such a good idea. I can't believe you didn't come up with that promotions guy TI here.
Let's drop the ball.
He's not even listening, is he? He's in the Discord.
Sorry, are you guys still recording?
Well, you better be recording.
I think I've figured out the Discord link. I think we can put a link in the episode description to the Discord.
Ooh.
And then
Oh.
people will be able to go straight there from their phones.
Wow. From Spotify.
Ooh la la.
I think so.
That's very exciting.
Except for maybe not, and one of the providers doesn't let you hyperlink. Can't remember which one, but you can still stick it in. You copy paste it. or something.
Yeah. We'll
I don't
figure
know.
this out later.
Anyway, but right, you're right. So sorry, I was just explaining who the guest was, but we still haven't met them. Now that was obviously from the provisioning meeting, because then we get Magda having a nap. She wants to take a nap. Ryan says something skeezy, as per Ryan. You can always say it's my fault if you're taking a nap with me, he says.
Oh,
to
yeah.
Magda.
Yuck.
Yuck. She has a big old sleep.
It's not a nap. It's a
Big old sleep.
It's a proper kip.
She didn't get up till 8:45 p.m. I don't know what time she went down, but she supposedly had done the bathrooms. But we need to clarify, when she said she'd done the bathrooms to Aisha, she was done but not finished.
Yeah. There's still toilet paper to be refilled, towels.
There's a flannel just sitting there.
all over the floor.
Sitting there.
But that's done, you know?
Just not
It's not
finished.
finished.
It's just not finished.
Like this podcast is done. It's just
But
not finished.
Exactly right. I was going to say the same thing.
So they got into a bit of a scrap, and Magda said she's just going to push through. She's been through lots of challenges in her life.
She had scoliosis.
She's going to push through the charter like she pushed through scoliosis.
I know a lot about scoliosis thanks to another reality TV show, and this was a reality TV crossover moment I didn't expect, which is Sister Wives. One of the children in Sister Wives has scoliosis, and it was detailed surgery and all this stuff. Not a lot happens on Sister Wives, like ever. So whenever there's literally anything, it gets really dragged out. So I learned a lot.
You know a lot.
Know a lot. Anyway,
Is it
Magda has
comparable
scoliosis.
to having to like fold towels and that being a bit annoying?
It's it's probably that annoying.
Yeah.
It's that annoying, but perhaps a touch more. No, obviously it's an awful and painful, and your back your spine's in like an S shape. So I think to have surgery to have it fixed and so on is quite intense. But maybe not as intense as folding towels, according to Magda.
Who knows? But she can push through. She's done it before, and she will do it again.
She will do it again.
But you should put Toomey on earlies because Magda's she can't keep up. She can't keep up with the laundry.
The whole reason that she puts Toomey on earlies is so that Magda has to do service and therefore can't be hiding away downstairs in the laundry talking to Johan and
using all the Xavier's data.
Bloody Xavier just wants to get on the Discord.
And he wants to win a Love Island thing, but he can't because he doesn't live in the Auckland region.
Hey, I feel like this was the first episode of Below Deck I've ever seen across all the different various forms of the show where I've seen someone dangling harnessed cleaning windows.
Oh,
it was just a fleeting moment in a montage.
Was it a crew person or was it a?
Ew, I think it was Brittini.
Wow, that's
Like
a part
doing
of the
the-
job I'd like to know more about because that's really freaky.
Exactly. Maybe that's something they're just keeping, for future seasons, so that we don't, there's always something new. Like the crane, like how they craned out the toys earlier on in this season. I was like, wow, that's cool.
I have had an experience with a window washer. Recently, our apartment, I live in a penthouse of our apartment, and
you on like are you on the top floor?
I'm on the top floor. It's not really a
I
penthouse,
wouldn't know.
but it is the top
I've never
floor.
been invited over, actually.
Haven't you? Well, I have anxiety about inviting people over because I've got a really big gap under the toilet door, and I don't want people to feel uncomfortable going to the toilet in my house.
I know I'm probably the worst person for that too. But no, that's okay. I understand. I have been to the outside of your house many, many times.
That's true. You have.
We've been in lockdowns.
We have been in lockdowns. You should come over, but just bring like a doorstop or something to put under the toilet door.
Like a little...
like a door snake.
Like a snake.
Yeah.
A door snake.
A door snake.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've had window washers scheduled to come for ages. Oh my God, this is so boring. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All it is that I've been terrified. I've been a prisoner in my own home, terrified that the window washers are going to see me in my undies. So I've just kept the blinds shut constantly.
I had a similar situation when I had my first baby, and we did that cool thing that everyone does when they have their first baby and decide to do a bunch of renovations, and got the outside of the house painted.
Oh yeah.
And so I was at home with my boobs out constantly.
When I first met you, you had your boobs out. Did you know that?
No, what?
When you had Maisie and Jude.
Was I
And they
feeding
were very
when
little,
you
and you were
arrived at my
feeding
house?
when you opened the door.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, that was great. Remember, they were tiny babies, and we did our first fantasy suite. And you had the tiny babies.
I found that pilot. By the way, again, it still exists. Oh, I can't believe it. You go rogue when you have babies.
Iconic.
You just stop. Your boobs are out so much, you get completely desensitized to any sort of modesty that you might have, and no, you shouldn't have to worry. I know that my father-in-law was always like, didn't know where to look. It was great. He never wanted to say anything, but his eyes were everywhere around the room while he was talking to me. Anyway, yeah, I was always worried that these guys was. I spent like the first few weeks at home with my new baby was like in the darkness, everything shut.
Really?
I didn't want, yeah.
Oh dear.
What are we talking
I
about?
forgot boats. Something on the boat.
There's 8 dudes, 8 babes arrived to the boat. There's no tender beers. Tender beers is such a lovely term.
It is a lovely term.
Would you like a tender beer?
So they're immediately complaining. They've got high standards. They're in the industry. The pressure's on.
Yeah, and they're friends of the cap. So, that's just that's extra pressure. Means the cap's going to be at dinner. You can't just get away with another pasta charter. And you can't put the primaries jersey in the washing machine.
No. Aisha, when she took them around, was like, no flushing tampons, boys.
No.
Which is a good segue into Bleed Week. Is this going out this week?
Yeah, we're in the middle of Bleed Week.
We're in the middle of Bleed Week as you listen on the spin-off. A week dedicated, right in the thick of it. Day 3, heavy flow of content. It's a week dedicated to better understanding our periods in Aotearoa, and there's some awesome content planned, including stuff around flushing, not flushing. And the answer is don't.
No,
don't flush anything.
Don't flush.
Don't flush anything.
I mean,
the 3 Ps.
I mean, flush. Flush,
Pee,
but don't
poo,
flush
paper.
your...
That's what they say. That's
Yeah.
what they say at Watercare.
But don't not flush. Don't just go to the toilet and then not flush.
But don't flush a tampon.
Don't flush your sanitary products.
No, and don't flush your gloves.
Don't flush your gloves. Do not flush your gloves. Okay. What else? Jamie's getting on Brittini's case for being horny, apparently. Being toey. Getting distracted by the guests. When he called that meeting with the deck crew, did he call the meeting with the deck crew just to pay out Brittini in front of them?
I think so, yeah.
She was the only one who was spoken to. But Benny came out of the hole from below deck. He clambered out of this little hole, and it was, I don't know what it was about it. It just looked so funny, as if that's where he is all the time. He just comes out like a little mole out of his little hole.
Was he in the dungeon with the anchor chain? No.
I don't. It was a different hole.
Oh, different hole.
I feel like I hadn't seen this one before.
Oh, dear.
Now, block curiosity I hear, because I'm going to go in defence of Ryan.
Not again.
I'm just going to cut this from the podcast, but go ahead.
Don't cut it. I think the chef should be able to say how the meal is served. Not when, but how. If he's created a family-style dinner, then I think it should be served family style.
I agree with you, but I think the problem was he shouldn't be doing family style for guests of this calibre.
Potentially true, but I think we've seen family style done really successfully for some very fancy guests in other seasons of this show.
Yeah.
I think they're just, you know what it needs to be? Some great communication
There
somewhere
needs to be
in
some
there.
comms.
Or any communication.
I did like watching her serve with white gloves, just little tiny bits of stuff all the way. It took so long serving
I know,
up all
and
that
I think it
stuff.
looks worse, because what happens is she goes around with this one thing, and then there's just one tiny portion of side sitting on each plate before she then goes around again. And I think I'm with Ryan on this one. Sorry.
And the olives had no forks. Another problem. But that was a Magda. That was Magda's problem.
There's a Magda. I love the way she tries to wriggle out of things.
Yeah.
She just she confuses Aisha with what she says. Aisha's like, they've got nothing. They can't just bung their feeding fork into the air. And she was like, I did serve it with something. This is how the chef gave it to me. It's like, what are you saying? I don't understand.
She speaks in riddles.
But it works.
It does work.
Also the I was done but not finished worked when she said that to Aisha. Aisha just gets stumped and doesn't know what to say to her. Very
The
clever.
pasta was too salty.
Well, we saw it. Did you see Chef A?
Oh, did we see him
Salting
salt it?
Oh my word. He put in so much salt.
So this is a backlash to the plain risotto of charters gone by. slashing out,
yeah.
over seasoning now.
Oh, yeah. The salt really came through according to the guests. He should have just grabbed some seawater and cooked it in the seawater. Can you do that? What happens? Salty pasta, I suppose.
Yeah. And then you could, evaporate the salt, use that as seasoning again and drink the fresh water if you needed to.
Recycling.
That's Castaway.
Cap is not happy with Ryan's dinner.
No.
I haven't got any notes from this. I can't remember. So tell me what happened.
I don't know either. He was just embarrassed. He was deeply embarrassed about the salt levels.
But the shocking thing was Ryan's reaction. He was so disrespectful and rude. He basically told the captain to fuck off and walked out halfway through the meeting. But the captain was being really pretty calm about it, you know?
Yeah.
He wasn't yelling. He wasn't raising his voice. But were Ryan to raise his voice 3 decibels, captain was prepared to go 4 decibels higher.
And that is a threat.
That is a real threat. I will beat you by 1 decibel.
Again,
We'll
it's
be
like,
here all day.
if we can imagine a universe where Hannah is the chief stew, and imagine if Sandy was his captain. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God.
it just really goes to show sometimes the like softly, Antipodean niceness don't work at sea. It does not work at sea.
I would love to see Ryan and Sandy on a charter together because she would absolutely rip him a new one. And he would be off. He would be off that boat so fast.
Yeah. Well, he was going to be, right? Jason had lined up another chef, but they took a job or something.
Oh, I remember. I thought, did I miss that? But maybe it was in last week's preview. Was that in this episode that he made a call?
I think so.
Or was it last week?
The other chef he
Anyway.
lined up took another job, I wrote.
Oh,
Anyway.
Well,
So the guests end up going, they're like so fed up with the food that they go fishing until 3 a.m.
inky squid?
Yeah, yuck.
Yuck.
Catch those, put them in a bucket, and then bung them right in Ryan's chiller. I'm sure he's not going to mind that.
No, and then bring in some fish, but don't fillet it and gut it, and that really will send Ryan over the edge as well.
Yeah.
Is that right? Filleting and gutting, is that what you call it? Descaling?
Gutted and scaled, I
deboning?
believe he asked
There you
for.
go. That's not bloody Culver's job, is it?
No.
It's a chefy job. Or a fishmonger. The man sells fish! Sorry, that was a terrible accent. We're done, I think, eh? Oh,
No, we've got to talk
we're
about the
not
blow-up
done.
dolls and the return of Keith Stone.
Yeah, Keith Stone. Keith Stone and Stacey and Tracy.
So funny that so one of the guests wants a Bucks night or whatever, and they requested blow-up dolls
Yeah.
and like a stripper, I guess. But what they got was
Keith Stone?
the return of Keith Stone in a mullet wig, and this time a pot belly. I think he'd added a bit more of the
Well, yeah. I mean, if you saw a pot belly, it's definitely not. It's definitely
definitely was
added.
definitely
Because
not-
as we
it was definitely
know,
not
if
Culver.
when Culver's not smiling, and he's just working out. Those are the two things that he does.
and he wrote stripper mans on his singlet, which I
Yeah.
thought was just to make it very clear. He is the adult entertainment for the evening.
That's the Antipodean version, because of course the classic NZ-ifying a term, putting mans with a Z on it. I didn't know that they requested blow-up dolls. That's funny because the guy was, Keith Stone was well into Stacey or Tracy, whoever he was manhandling, but the buck was just sat there, just holding it, just not really doing anything
Yeah.
with it, you know?
And they were just sort of sitting there. Like, again, this is where I beg of you, show me the Provisioners spin-off show. Show me that person
Yeah.
racing around
Yeah.
trying to find blow-up dolls, which I think Aisha requested, quote-unquote, pretty vaginas.
Yeah.
Where did they get them from at such short notice? I don't know. Maybe it's easier to get blow-up dolls than you think.
I imagine a big warehouse, right? Like a warehouse where they've got all sorts of things, the Provisioners. This is the show in my head. And they just like they get these requests and the forklift goes out and gets down the pallet from way up on high and they pull out the blow-up dolls or what have you. Toomey needs some styrofoam birds for her tablescaping And yep, they're in aisle 3. But then there's obviously going to be things that the provisioners don't have in the warehouse, and then they have to source from elsewhere. And so you've got this kind of almost weird domino effect of like most of the things are on the boat, but when they don't have them, they need them from the provisioners. Most of the things the provisioners have in their warehouse, but when they don't, they then have to go out and source them from elsewhere. And then you can have another spin-off show of like provisioning the provisioners, you know? It's never ending.
Are you telling me there's a warehouse?
No, I'm telling you that's what I imagine.
Oh, that's what you imagine.
What I think it is just some people who drive around shops.
Yes.
But in my head, it's a warehouse.
The amount of waste they must go through. Like those blow-up dolls, they're just ending up in the sea, probably.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Probably. I just had a thought because I was just thinking about that kind of line of provisions. This is something I thought when I first found out I got COVID. Do you know what's crazy to think when you've got COVID? That everyone who's had COVID, it all goes back to this one, the very first case. Like we are all linked back to that person. I might not be linked to you. Your strain may have come from someone, but we all go back to that one fellow or fellowless. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Isn't that
in a way,
interesting?
we are all one.
Yeah, we're sharing. I mean, the collateral damage is terrible.
Atrocious.
There's no doubt. But there's a uniting. I don't know. I'm trying to look for silver lining.
Are you saying
World is
unite
absolutely
against COVID-19?
On fire. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're uniting against COVID-19. I don't know.
Jane, look, you're very sick. You've done a whole podcast with COVID-19 and you haven't fainted, which is pretty amazing.
I'm laying down.
Did you just tuck that in your bra?
I haven't got a bra on. Are you kidding me? I didn't shower. Alex, I didn't shower for 4 days. I showered yesterday for the first time in 4 days. The longest I've ever been without a shower.
Incredible. Did it feel really good though? The big wash?
The shower felt great. The terrible thing is that if you averaged out my showers over 2 weeks, it'd be very, very bad numbers because when I was sick with what I thought was a cold, might have been COVID, but also might have just been a cold or perhaps a touch of flu. I don't know. That was 3 days I didn't shower. So over 2 weeks, I've only showered 7 days. And after that 3 days, I really smelt bad, right? Now, I can only assume that after 4 days, I smelt even worse, but I couldn't smell anything. So I was just like rolling around like a rotting, disgusting mushroom. I was blissfully ignorant.
Yeah.
I've talked too much about gross things. I'm so sorry.
I think it's fine. I think it's important to talk about smells in particular. And your COVID journey has been a grim one. And it's not over.
No one's coming over, right? So that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
What about your children?
I've been so desperate for attention that even when I order deliveries, even though all deliveries at the moment are contactless and they just leave on your porch and they say, we're doing contactless delivery, I still write in the delivery instructions, isolating due to COVID.
Aww.
Because I hope they'll put in just throw a minty in the bag or something, Instead of what's happening is they're just hiffing stuff from about 5 feet away and then running.
I will throw you from 5 feet away an overnight bag filled with fake tan and sangria mix, if that's what you want.
Do I not even have to go to a party pontoon to get it?
You don't have to go to the party pontoon. You might have to do something in the Discord. It remains to be seen.
Panic in the
Panic
Discord?
at the Discord.
Okay, great. So now you've given away 3. So now we've
got one left.
One bag.
And it's going to be great.
Worst giveaway ever. Hey, thanks for listening. Sorry for all the coughing, the delirious stuff. I think I said some problematic stuff as well. Blame COVID.
Yeah.
I think I said problematic stuff about COVID, in fact.
You've got it. So you can.
I've got it.
I'm just going to sanitize my hands again while I look at you. And I have to go to a meeting now. Channeling Duncan.
Have a lovely meeting. Thank you for your time.
Feel better, Jane. We're all thinking of you.
Thank you.
We'll be back together soon.
Okay, I'll see you on Thursday, hopefully. But we'll see you guys in here on Thursday as well. And here in the pod machine with a block week 1 recap. Goodbye. Thanks, T.I. here.
Thank you,
Bye.
Aya. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry so much.
From the Spin-Off Podcast Network, you've been listening to The Real Pod. It was hosted by me, Jane Yee, along with Alex Casey and, most of the time, Duncan Grieve. Te Aihe Butler made it all sound good, and Rachel LaRue got us out to the world.
Start your day with The Bulletin, a newsletter from The Spin-Off summarising New Zealand's biggest breaking stories and highlighting the best reporting from around the country. Sign up for free today at thespinoff.co.nz/newsletters.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, Senior Writer at The Spin-Off. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, Podcast Manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.